The scariest thing about a world war is not the bombs. It's how quickly normal life disappears. One day, you're paying for things like usual. The next day, your card doesn't work. ATMs run dry, payments fail, and suddenly the money you trusted your whole life becomes something you can't even use. And the worst part? Most people won't realize this until they're already standing in line, trying to withdraw money that isn't coming out. Right now, everything feels normal. You wake up, check your phone, your balance is still there. Same numbers, same app, same system. And that gives you a sense of control. Because in your mind, money equals safety. If something goes wrong, you have backup. If things get hard, you have savings. If life becomes unpredictable, you have control. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if that control is just an illusion? Not because you're careless, but because the system you trust only works under one condition: stability. The moment stability disappears, everything starts to behave differently. Not instantly, not dramatically, but just enough to feel off. A delay in transactions, a limit on withdrawals, a message that says, try again later. And at first, people ignore it because it doesn't feel serious yet. It feels temporary, fixable. But then it happens again and again, and suddenly something that always worked stops working when you actually need it. And this is where everything changes. Because now it's not just you. Everyone is trying to do the same thing: withdraw, transfer, secure, and the system can't handle it. Lines start forming, ATMs run out of cash, payments fail, and people who felt prepared suddenly feel stuck. Imagine this clearly. You have money. You know it's there. You can see it on your screen, but in the real world, it means nothing. That's the moment the illusion breaks. But here's where it gets even worse, because sometimes your money doesn't disappear. It stays right there, same number, same balance, but it quietly becomes less powerful every single day. And that's exactly why it's dangerous, because it doesn't feel like a problem until it already is, which nobody notices at first, because nothing breaks. There's no error message, no warning, just small changes, prices creeping up, costs increasing. Things that used to feel affordable suddenly feel expensive. And you tell yourself, it's fine, it's temporary, it'll go back. But it doesn't. It keeps moving in one direction. And slowly, your money starts shrinking, not in numbers, but in what it can actually do. At this point, a lot of people start thinking, okay, fine, digital money can fail. I'll just keep cash. Sounds smart, right? Because cash feels real. You can hold it. You can see it. No app, no system, no internet. Just money. But here's the problem. Cash only works when the system around it is still functioning. Because money, even physical money, still depends on trust. And in unstable situations, trust disappears fast. Like shops may stop accepting large notes. Prices may change every few hours. Sellers may refuse cash altogether because they don't know what it will be worth tomorrow. So now you're holding money, but it's losing power in real time. But the damage doesn't stop at cash or banking. It hits your screen, not the news, your cell phone screen. You open your investment app and something feels off. More red than usual. Not just one stock, everything. And here's what most people don't realize. This doesn't start with you. Big money moves first, fast, quiet, no announcements, no warnings. The people with the most information don't wait to be sure. They just leave. And the moment they start pulling out, everything begins to shake. Prices drop, then drop again. Good investments, bad investments, doesn't matter. Everything gets dragged down. And now you're staring at your screen thinking, this wasn't supposed to happen. Your investments are down. Your mutual funds are down. The money you thought was growing is now shrinking in real time. And this is where it gets dangerous, because it doesn't stop there. While your portfolio is falling, the real world starts getting more expensive. Same money, less power. You feel it slowly, then all at once. Now you're stuck in a double hit. your money is going down and the cost of living is going up, because now it's not just numbers changing.
It's your control slipping. And by the time most people understand what's happening, the ones who moved early are already gone. But now when you go out, something strange starts happening. Things don't break all at once. They disappear piece by piece. One day, something small is missing. You ignore it. Next day, something else. Still doesn't feel serious. But then you notice a pattern. The things disappearing aren't random. They're the ones that come from somewhere else. Imported, transported, delivered. And suddenly it clicks. It's not the product, it's the system behind it. The movement is slowing down. And once movement slows, everything starts catching up. And now it gets real. You walk into a store. It looks normal at first, but something feels off. Gaps on shelves, fewer options, people picking faster than usual. Not panic, but definitely not normal. Next day, it's worse. More missing items, less variety. And then you hear it. Supply hasn't arrived. That's it. No timeline, no clarity. And now it's not just groceries, it's medicine, essentials, things you assumed would always be there. And suddenly, they're not. And this is where it gets worse. Because now it's not just about what's missing, it's about why everything is slowing down. Think about fuel, the thing that keeps everything moving. Now imagine this. You wake up one morning and there's news everywhere. Supply disrupted, fuel shortages expected, limited availability. At first, it doesn't feel serious. You think, it's fine, I'll just fill my tank later. But by afternoon, the lines start forming. Long lines, people waiting for hours. Some stations already empty. Others begin restricting how much fuel each person can take. And suddenly, something that was always available becomes uncertain. And this is where your money starts losing meaning, because it doesn't matter how much cash you have if there's nothing left to buy. Think about it carefully. No fuel means transportation slows, deliveries stop, supply chains break, and when supply breaks, everything else follows. Food becomes limited, prices spike, access becomes harder. You don't run out of money, you run out of options. And this is the part most people never prepare for.
They prepare for having money, but not for a world where money can't solve the problem. Because in that moment, the problem is not affordability, it's availability. And once availability becomes the problem, money becomes secondary. That's when you realize the system you trusted was holding everything together. This is where everything becomes clear. Money was never the real safety, the system was. And once that system becomes unstable, the value of money becomes unstable too. Because money is only useful when it can move, when it can be exchanged, when it can actually solve problems. But when access disappears or value weakens, it stops doing all of those things. And just when you think you've understood the situation, something even more uncomfortable starts happening. The lights go out. Not completely, just enough to make you pause, then come back. You ignore it, then it happens again. Longer this time. And now it's not just a flicker anymore. Your phone battery starts becoming a concern. Charging is no longer guaranteed. The network weakens. Calls drop. Messages don't go through properly. Shops start closing earlier. Some don't open at all. And suddenly, it's not just about money. It's not just about fuel. It's about control. Because now, even basic things don't feel stable anymore. And that's when it really hits you. Almost everything around you depends on systems you don't control. And those systems are starting to slip. And at this point, it's no longer about one problem. It's everything.
Because they assume, I'll figure it out when it happens. But situations like this don't give you time to think. They force you to react. And reactions are always slower than preparation. The people who stay in control are the ones who understood this before anything happened, not after. And the scariest part, you don't even know how long it's going to stay like this. So when people say, save more money, you'll be safe, they're only telling half the truth, because the real question is not, how much money do you have? The real question is, will it still matter when everything changes? And if the system you depend on stops working, even for a short time, then in that moment, your money isn't power anymore. It's just a number that you can't use.